Hello guys, welcome to our newest podcast. I'm Dr. Lachin Hatemi with Veritas Health Group here, and we have a special guest, Scottie Shelley. We are collaborators, we work together. He's a special guy, so we have the opportunity. Hello Scottie, how are you doing?
Thank you, Dr. Hatemi. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thanks.
Scottie, you all have Sunset Primary Care in West Columbia.
Yeah.
Tell me about yourself, tell me about your practice, what you do.
Well, Sunset Primary Care is in West Columbia. It is a low-cost self-pay clinic. It's for those that don't have insurance or high deductible plans that can't afford to go to the doctor or pay the doctor prices. We started it back in 2017. Years ago, I used to be a nurse with big hospitals, and what we would see was the people would come into the ERs that were repeat patients, which you probably have seen in your clinical time. High blood pressure, 200s, uncontrolled, diabetes, A1Cs of 11, they'd be in DKA or, just whatever. They didn't have a doctor. So what they would do, they would get their medicine and they would take it when they felt bad or one every 3 or 4 days. And they'd make a month's worth of medicine stretch for 3 or 4 months or until they got into some kind of critical crisis and back to the ER. The doctors would write them 30 days worth of medicine. Here's your metformin. Here's your lisinopril, whatever. They would leave and they'd say, you need to find a doctor. Well, they still didn't have insurance and they still couldn't afford $200 or $300 to go to a doctor. So 3 or 4 months later, they're back in the ER, high blood pressure, diabetes under control. And some people, didn't make it. But they literally couldn't get money or didn't have the money to go see a doctor for a $4 medicine or a free medicine now. Things are different now, but metformin's free, lisinopril's free but they didn't have a doctor or couldn't afford $200 or $300 to get that script.
Yeah, those medications are like free and Publix. Walmart is a good program, very cheap, very low cost. So I cannot believe people have no medication for diabetes or blood pressure when they are very cheap. Mm-hmm. And then, so you need what? You need someone to write it for you. They can simply come to you.
Somebody has to write it for you. So what we started doing, and I wish I could take credit for it, but I can't. It was in other states, mostly out west, that they had these clinics that were called self-pay clinics and did very well, but they were able to get people the medicine. Not a free clinic. The free clinic has its own little population. These people had some money. They just didn't have $300 and lab fees and all that. They didn't have a primary doctor. And some doctors won't see you if you don't have insurance. So even if you had money, they had nobody to give it to.
Absolutely. So if I come to you, like I have diabetes, nothing else, I just need to refill my metformin and glyptol. How much will it cost?
$60.
$60.
$60.
$60. You cannot get anything for $60 these days. You can simply get a doctor, sign up for it, and get some blood work. You can pay extra for the blood.
Yeah, so not just $60. $60 will get you a refill. But if you needed lab work or it's been a while, you're not going to pay more than probably $160 for monitoring and all that. And that's blood counts, diabetes, all that kidney and liver function that y'all have to have for these, medicines. Because even though we're trying to help you, we still have a basis that we all have to reach. We have a standard of care that we all have to do as medicine and monitoring. But it doesn't have to be every time. When you have insurance, they draw labs every 3 months. It's nice, but it's not absolutely required.
So if they want to come see you, they don't need an appointment, right? You can walk in too.
Walk in or by appointment, either one. We take walk-ins, yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, you can just walk in and be seen and get treated with respect. Mm-hmm. And Scottie, you're the provider and the owner.
Yeah.
So the owner is in front of you. It's at the corporate office.
Yeah.
The man who owns the business stands behind the business, treating you at the same time. And $60 for the visit, more for the labs. But that $160 is dirt cheap. I mean, in medical field, that's like very, very, very reasonable.
My own insurance, and I have a high deductible plan, so I am my own customer. If I run my own labs, and I'll say I have low testosterone, it's something that we do at the clinic but it's $1,000 is what they charge my insurance. The same labs with testosterone is right under 200. That's your full stat and testosterone, but they charge my insurance over $1,000.
It's crazy. I have one patient took his kids to the emergency room. He heard his little kid had a laceration here in the eyebrow. They just put glue, and their bill was $1,500. That would be costing less than $125 even in our offices.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy, 10 times more money. And they're not even nice about it. They will make you wait like 10 hours to get that glue and charge you $1,500. You come to his office, at my office, we will treat you in like half an hour and get you out of the office at much less the price.
I think the longest wait we had one time was about an hour, and it was really because a girl had to take her kid to the hospital, and so we were short. But about an hour, if you're there at an hour, then there's something way, somebody's really sick in the back. But for the most part, half hour, you're in and out.
And your location is very nice.
Yeah, we're in West Columbia, right in front of the Walmart. So everybody knows where the Walmart is in West Columbia. Just look to the left. I had one lady said, I never knew you were here. I said, you got problems with your neck? She said, why? I said, you never looked left?
So it's a great location. It's a very central location to come from anywhere. What services do you offer? Like you have all the other stuff.
Yeah, we offer, any kind of acute visits, cough, cold, flu, tummy ache, all those. Disease monitoring, heart disease, hypertension, diabetes, heart failure, COPD. We also have a chiropractor that's attached with us. So you have a hurt back or a strain, you can actually go see the chiropractor. He's only $40 a visit as well. And he takes straight cash, no insurance at all. But we do those. I also dabble in Botox and lip fillers. I've been doing that for about 4 years. It's $10 a unit all the time. You go to the spas, you get an average of 30 units. It's $500. For us, it's $300. It's the same medicine and the same kind of provider. It's just not a spa.
In the spa, they give you a little bottle of wine. They have this nice furniture. They set you up. You feel like special.
Yeah.
But you pay the price for it. So you want the same service, much better price. Just go see Scottie for Botoxes. Don't pay like twice the price just because somebody pretty is answering the phone, or you have a nice white cushy sofa in the waiting room.
Water coming down the way when you come.
Fountain in the bag and all that. Yes.
However, you can bring your own wine. I generally won't say nothing if you want.
Bring your wine, but you want Botox, $10 a unit. That's still
that's every day. That's people that work. Our clinic is set up for people that we work for a clinic and we want our money to stretch because we don't have a lot of extra money. And even as a provider, even me as a nurse practitioner, I hate to say it, I'm not a cardiologist living at the lake. I have to make my money stretch. And like I said, I'm my own clinic, my own client. I have a high deductible plan. My insurance don't kick in until $5,000. So the only difference between me and somebody with no insurance is I have a goal of $5,000 for each every year, which I hope I never reach.
Yeah, you probably never reach that if you're healthy.
Yeah.
And, and there's no billing. You're not going to get a bill in the mail from Scottie's picture on it.
Yep.
Yeah, what you paid up front is what you pay. No surprises, nothing to worry about, some crazy hidden fees like hospitals are notorious for.
It's notorious up front. I don't get you in the back and try to upsell you or anything like that. This is what we have, and this is what it's going to cost, and I guarantee you're not going to find better prices other than the free clinic, in town for those kind of things.
I mean, free clinic is nothing bad about it. I see a lot of the patients, and we do free x-rays for the free clinic, Good Samaritan Clinic, but they have limited staff, limited resources. They can address everybody who doesn't have issues. And you feel such a big gap in medicine.
Yes. Well, there's a lot of people that fall in that I don't have insurance, but I can afford to pay for my health care, but I still don't want to pay $300 or $400. And again, there's a lot of doctor's offices that just don't take self-pay. We were having a conversation coming on about some pain management. I can't find a pain management to take anybody without insurance. Now that means these people that were in a car accident or they broke their back or their neck or they've had surgery and they still need pain management, I can't get them in because they won't take self-pay and they have no insurance.
So you're like one man that try to fill those holes and 18 holes in the system. It's crazy.
We try. One of the things we also do is anxiety and depression. There's a lot of people with those kind of issues. Can't get them into mental health. Mental health is ran over. Plus, if you got insurance, it's expensive and you have to wait. So we try to help those that we can refill their medicines, get them on the medicines that they need to be on, or at least try a couple different things before they ever get into mental health to say, hey, at least now you've tried a couple of things, because it don't always work. The first medicine don't always work. We try, and sometimes we get lucky, and sometimes lucky's better than being good. But if it takes 2 or 3 medicines or different times, you've at least tried those. And again, I'm going to tell you, for a lot less money before you ever got to that psychiatrist.
And here's to breaking the news. You go to a psychiatrist, that big name and big degree and big residency, guess what? They do the exact same thing. Yeah. They give you medication, see if it works. If it doesn't work, change it to a different medication. If it doesn't work, change it different. Exact same medication, schedule or me give it to you. Yeah. So there's no secret sauce in their office or secret knowledge they have. I mean, of course, they are more trained in diagnosing things, but they still do the same thing. They just try different medication until whichever helps.
But if you can't get in, the option of not being on anything is not an option.
Absolutely.
The option of being out of medicine, and that's what a lot of they can't get in, so you're out of medicine. And this is kind of the stretch, but we've seen some of those mental health people downtown or on the street. You don't want those people to be unmedicated if they can be, or they have some. But we're talking about regular old everyday people that work for you, work for me, work for, the cameraman back there. They have people in their office that are on an antidepressant or to anxiety medicine because their boss is an asshole. And they need that medicine to help them every day. And that's what we're here for. And they don't want to go to a psychiatrist. One, they don't want to go because it's $300. And two, they don't want that stigma. We don't stigmatize.
Yeah. My guy charged you $500 for the first session. And then somebody come with an anxiety attack, panic attack right now.
Yeah.
They need help. And then you call them, Van, can you see this patient? Well, it will cost $500. I'll come back in January. I'm like, January? I'm out of your money.
Yeah. Yeah, we are same-day visits. We will get you in the same day. If we don't get you in the same day, it's because you just didn't want to wait until tomorrow, or you wanted to wait till tomorrow. I can get you in the same day.
Yeah, and then we are not affiliated with any hospitals. So
no.
We won't send you to those expensive hospital services. Say somebody comes to you, you treat them, but you think they need more specialized care. Say they want some cardiology. Who do you send? What's your preferred?
Well, I've got a couple that we work with that are independent. My own cardiologist, I can say it because he's my own, is Dr. Bachknight. I like Dr. Bachknight. He's individual. He used to work for the big hospitals. Now he's his own. We try to send those that are not affiliated with the hospitals. Now, if you've got insurance, you can go anywhere you want to go that insurance allows you to go. And what I say is you may want to go to Richland, the insurance may only want you to go to Lexington. If you got really good insurance, you can go wherever you want, but some of them do dictate where you go, so that's where you go. But if you need, further like cardiologists, orthopedists, we can get you in. We also have relationships with people that we can get you in for self-pay. I can get MRIs done between $400 and $500.
Yep, me too.
If you go to the hospital, a couple thousand. I had COVID a couple years ago, had to have a couple CT scans, $300. Hospital was going to be 3 times that for a CT scan.
Can you share them where you send like somebody get abdominal pain or a brain MRI or neck MRI, who you send your imaging? That's very, very reasonable.
Palmetto Imaging is very good downtown. There is one that's down next to your clinic. Claremont, that is a very good one. And there's a new one that opened within the last couple years down from on Sunset Boulevard. They've got 3. American Health. And I think they're very good. I can get you in generally within a week, 2-3 days tops, unless you're going through insurance and then they have to verify it and all that. Absolutely. There's hoops to always jump through with insurance. But we can get you in usually within just a few days and get those results within 72 hours.
I mean, and thinking about it, a CT scan, $300, $400, $500, depending on the agent you use. MRI, $600, $500, $700. These will cost you in thousands of dollars in a hospital. Same MRI. Probably better service at the cheaper places because they're independent.
Yeah, and they are. They know when you get into these big hospitals stuff, and they know they've got you. It's like a car dealership, and they were the only car dealership in town. They've got you. When you walk in and you're there to have whatever service this is, they've got you. You're there to have their service for their person. And yes, you got to wait 4 hours. They've double booked and triple booked, and we've all seen that. And if you walk in 10 minutes late, they cancel your appointment. But you're like, but you're not even going to see me for another hour, an hour and a half.
So here's a dirty trick, and I want you guys to listen carefully. If you go to a hospital-affiliated doctor, Lexington Medical Center, MUSC, Prisma, doesn't matter. If they need an imaging, they can send it out to cheaper places.
They can.
You are not obligated to use their imaging facilities. You can request them, hey, I want to save money, send my imaging to this place. And they can. If they say they cannot, they're violating the law.
Yeah.
It's illegal.
And all three of those are good places. And we're not saying anything because people need the hospitals, just like urgent cares and primary care.
Absolutely.
So I saw a thing the other day. It was funny. It was on one of the boards. It said, when to know the difference, where to go. If you had like a cough or an upset stomach, it said primary care. If you were throwing up a little green vomit, it was like, go to urgent care. If you were throwing up blood, you had a knife stuck in your gut, you need to go to the ER.
Absolutely.
And that's it. We all serve a purpose. We're all trying to help people in a certain way. But sometimes when you go to the big hospitals for small things, you pay a big price.
Absolutely. So try to avoid them as much as you, unless you really need their help. You can get your outpatient services elsewhere much cheaper. The secret is, like, if you send it to a hospital-affiliated specialist, a GI or cardiologist or ENT, they will take along fees called facility fees. So you're paying extra for the exact same service because there's just the hospital's name is at the door.
Yeah.
Not any better service, actually probably not as fast as neither, but you pay more for that name, which is unnecessary.
Yeah.
I'm going to agree with that.
Yeah, no, it's the world we live in, and the hospitals. People used to joke about South Carolina not having a union, and I said, yes, you do. It's the hospitals.
Yeah.
They're unionized against everybody else. Together. There's your union. It ain't the individual. It's the status quo.
A patient status quo, and we are independent operators, Scottie and me. We try to break that mold. We try to give you access to things you really need to stay alive and improve your life, and so you don't end up in an emergency room. Diabetic ketoacidosis can be prevented, avoided with $5 worth of medication.
Yeah.
So there's no excuse to not have any medications on board.
Yeah.
You can simply get it for $60 or $100, I mean, whatever is the cost, but it's cheap. I know it can be money for other people. I mean, it's still not free, but your health is everything.
And when you're small or not small individual, like Dr. Hatemi and Veritas has a couple of clinics now. When it's yours and not a corporate, you can work with people more. There are several people that come in and we had to work with them on their bill, or one or two people work somewhere and they brought us in some food. Yeah, we worked with them. They brought us in some food when we worked, but you can do that. It didn't matter if you worked for one of the other places, they're going to bring you in some food. You're still going to charge them full price, and that's the way it is.
Our main goal is to take care of it. That's the bottom goal.
Yeah. In fact, here's Veritas Healthcare and Sunset Primary Care, and we were talking before, you would never see some of these bigger places that are in competition or bigger hospital groups sit down together and have a conversation about patient care.
No, we actually send patients to each other. So that's really a competition. Certain things he can do, I cannot do. Certain things I can do, he cannot do. So we send each other patients. I don't do Botox. I don't do fillers. I don't do a lot of things you do. You don't do certain things I don't do, X-rays and so forth. So it is a collaboration, and it works great.
Yeah.
And I really want people to know more about you and come to you and get help that they need.
Well, I appreciate it. The whole thing is to help people. We were talking about COVID, and this guy right here was a COVID champion. He probably saw as many in his clinic as he did the hospitals. But we talked about, I said, I got a lot of insurance patients that came to see me during COVID. And he said, Scottie, why would they come see you when they got insurance? Because they couldn't get into their regular doctor. But I asked him, well, why couldn't you get in? He said, well, they won't see me because I'm sick. Now I want y'all to listen to me, because I'm going to tell you a good piece of advice right here. If your doctor won't see you when you're sick, don't give him your money when you're well.
Yes, it was nuts. I have a pulmonologist that closed down her clinic because she was afraid of COVID. And I was like, I hope my firefighters or the police officers don't do the same thing in the middle of a road or a house fire, you know? I mean, you are specialized in treating a certain disease. Are you shutting down your clinic because you're scared of the disease that you're supposed to treat? Then you're in the wrong profession.
Yeah.
You're in the wrong profession.
But that's it. We try to help you. We try to get people to help, even if we can't help you. Our slogan is like where healthcare begins. It's very affordable. This is where to get you somewhere else. And some people come in just to go, I know I need something, but I don't know where to go. We try to get you where it needs to go. And like I said, sometimes it's Dr. Hatemi at Veritas. Sometimes it's an actual consultant. He's actually been my doctor a couple of times. I still remember I was out in the garden earlier today, and I still remember when I had to call you when I got that stuff in my hands. Horrible. He gave me something simple to do that I never would have thought about that I could buy at the local store, and it worked. Just never would have even thought. Didn't even have to do medicine per se. But so he's been my doctor a couple of times, and you got to find that person that can help you, and that's what if we can't help you, we're going to get you the help you need.
So, Scottie, you do some other stuff too with the accident patients.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about what you do in this space?
So we do personal injury. So if you've seen, and there's only a couple people in Columbia that really do that. If you watch TV at night, you see these commercials, dial all 1s and 2s and 9s and all that. Those are the kind of patients. When you're in a car accident, most of the time you're hurt. And sometimes it can be very bad, neck, back. I've had people have been in Richland for a month, come in with their neck collars and, their braces and stuff. Well, you get an attorney. And I recommend anytime you've been in a car accident and it's not your fault, you talk to an attorney to make sure that you get the most that you can for your car and for your accident. And if you miss work, they can pay for that too. So I always recommend, I tell them we work with probably 50 different attorneys in Columbia. And 2 bad ones, and I can tell you the difference and get you which ones you need and which ones you need to stay away from.
So if you ever in a car accident or your loved ones, the first thing you need to go, Scott.
Yep.
And he will hook you up with the lawyers. He will hook you up with the chiropractor. He will take care of you immediately. Get imaging in order. Everything in one shop.
And what's great about that, it's one stop. So with some of the personal injury lawyers, they know too, you don't have a car. You're in this car. So they're doing Uber. They're getting rides from friends. Absolutely. Well, if you go to one doctor, then you got to leave and you got to go to physical therapy somewhere else, or then you got to go to the chiropractor. We actually have a chiropractor, and I guess I didn't tell you, we have a physical therapist that started back in March. We hired one that did personal injury, has about 20 years experience. So at Total Spine, you can do chiropractor or physical therapy. But again, it's all one spot. And what's great about that, if you're in with the doctor or the therapist and they see something, you walk right around to the other side and say, Scottie, can you see this patient? This is what. Or if they're there and they seem a little bad today, I can walk around to the other side and say, hey, Dr. V or Beth, can y'all see this patient? That's great. You got that communication right there. It's not having to call, leave a message, send a paper. Did anybody get it? You can literally, we're all in the same office space, that we can talk to each other.
Walmart, you're in the parking lot of, they have a pharmacy, right?
Walmart pharmacy.
They have a pharmacy.
The Walmart. They have a Walmart pharmacy. Yep.
So it's convenient. You just need to walk out of the clinic and walk to your pharmacy if you want. You don't need to get in your car.
Yeah. And there's the nail salon. So if you want to get your nails done after that too, that's right.
I think it's manicure.
They got a little bit of everything in that. What was funny, and I remember when I started school years ago, that used to be a Hollywood video store where we were at. I remember going in there. Yeah. So it's just funny how you kind of remember those things.
I remember Blockbuster. I think there's a Blockbuster open somewhere. There's only one store left. You've been there, right?
No, it's in
Oregon.
I thought they closed it because I saw the last, but I thought they ended up closing it. Did they not? Yeah, but I thought they did. I liked it. I still miss the days of going and selecting. But I used to stop at Hollywood because you could keep it for 5 days, whereas Blockbuster was like 2 days or something in Hollywood.
Fit the fees and all that.
Yeah, but it was good. So it's funny. I like West Columbia. I like the patients. It's a good location. We're only an exit down from Lexington Hospital. So if you're going to the hospital or the urgent care or something and, there's a wait or you just don't think that's really what you need and you can't figure out, again, whether I'm just sick, I'm throwing up vomit or throwing up blood, which one you need, we're only an exit down. So it's not that far as well.
I mean, medical, there's no excuse not to get Medicare with this kind of resources. And accessibility is everything. You either come to Scottie's place or my place. The doctor who treats you is the owner.
Yeah.
So that makes a huge difference. Like we stand behind our work and we stand behind the establishment. If you go somewhere else without giving names, you will get some tired, unmotivated provider sometimes. They don't care. They just want to clog out and go home and just collect a paycheck. You won't get that. We worry about our reviews. We worry about our feedback. We worry about our client base. We worry about retention. We want you to come back when you need us. Hopefully you won't need us.
Yeah.
We want your business. Unlike other people, they might not like.
And we're also going to treat you to the medical standard. There's a standard that every doctor has to treat you. But then there's also above the standard because you have insurance, so they can charge more for these standards and more often. We're not going to go under the standard. We're just trying to do it at a good quality cost, along with being professional and customer service. I have patients that come as far down as the other side of Orangeburg and St. Matthews. I have people all the way up in Rock Hill that come to see me, or we do telehealth as well. You know, so some of them will sign up for telehealth and come on during their lunch break, like some of those attorneys we talked about. They make a lot of money per hour. So if they're gone from their office, they lose a lot of money.
Absolutely.
They can literally close their door and do a 5-minute telehealth visit with me if they're, you know, sick, something small, and not have to miss work or anything. And if you don't want to drive, again, come from Orangeburg or Fairfield County or Rock Hill, that's a good little drive. Again, you do a telehealth appointment, you generally don't have to come in.
I mean, you do, and I do too. We have a huge population base coming from Orangeburg. And, you know, it makes me sad, kind of like you have to drive hour and a half to just to see a doctor. And, you know, they pass by so many establishments. I mean,
you know what I'm thinking, don't you? Yeah. Veritas Sunset Primary Care in Orangeburg. Yeah.
You might open there for about there.
Well, you know.
I tell you what, we will do a lot of business because what is already there, people are avoiding them like plague. You know, they don't like those places.
Yeah. Yeah. And Orangeburg's great. I do some other stuff down there. And it's a great community. Everybody's been very nice, very supportive. I mean, it wouldn't bother me at all to go down to a place like that.
We should open one.
You know, we have to think about that.
You know, and there's an imaging place. We have Claremont is there. There's an office. Claremont is a very reasonable imaging place. So we have somebody we can send our imaging to right there in our backyard. So why not?
And if you're hearing this and you have insurance or you've got a doctor or you're happy with whoever, and that's fine. But you know somebody that's not. You know somebody that don't have insurance. You know somebody that can't get their medicine, or they don't like where they go, or they can't get in. Let us know. Tell them our names. Tell them our Veritas Healthcare. Tell them Sunset Primary Care. Help them. It's just like these Facebook posts. We don't post them just to post them. We try to get those people to share them so they can get to those people who do need them. If you don't need it, that's great. But there is somebody that's on your Facebook that you know that's probably in your own family that you could help by telling them.
Absolutely. You know, we have people that couldn't get the MRIs because it's so expensive. And I told them you can get it for $500. I mean, it's still a lot of money, but compared to $3,000, and they end up going, and that post circulated like crazy. The price list, and everybody was sharing it because we need to know these resources. You know? We need to know where the resources and services are, so everybody can go. It's like a brotherhood of independent operators. We work together, we support each other, we send patients to each other, because we know what corporate medicine does to our people, and it's not good.
It's about the patient. The patient is always and will always be the center of care, and it should be.
It's a human life, you know. That's your most valuable asset, you know. You know, your car can break down, or you had a bad day, but your health is, without it, nothing is worth anything. You might have $1 million in the bank if you don't have good health. You know, I had one client the other day, he called me. And this man is a man of means. I mean, he has money beyond imagination. He is a very successful guy. I went to his house, and he was literally pale, sick, had a horrible urinary tract infection. And I sit down, give IV fluids with Rocephin antibiotic, and I can see him with my eyes coming back to life. This individual, literally in front of your eyes, come from somebody looked like a ghost to a smiling, laughing individual just with 2 IV fluids and some Rocephin. And if he waited that day, didn't go to ER or hospital or any care, he might get extremely sick, almost definitely septic.
Kidneys could shut down. There's a lot of things.
That guy could get septic. So you can save a life. And you can come to Scottie. If you have any crisis and you are too advanced, he can give you IV fluids. He can give you a Rocephin shot. I mean, he has everything we have too at Veritas, at Sunset Primary. Just get the care. Don't wait. Time is important sometimes, you know. Just get it there and then. Don't be lazy. Don't go to ER, wait 10 hours neither. Come to him during business hours. Get it taken care of before it gets too late.
And if you check out our website at sunsetprimarycare.com, our prices are listed on there. I wish that the hospitals would do the same. Say, here's our cardiologist. Here's our GI. Here's what it's going to cost you a night. I mean, they should have a list of what it's going to cost you and questions of why is it going to cost that.
The funny thing is they already have a price list by federal law, but they buried that price list in so deep in their website and in a format that nobody can read.
Yeah, I've never seen it, and I worked for two of them.
I've been seeing it once, and I couldn't even read it. I mean, it's that fast, so it's almost might as well done in post it. And trust me, when you see the prices, you don't want to see them anyways. They're scary. And with Scottie, you have a menu. You literally have on every service, you know exactly to the dollar amount how much you pay, and they're very reasonable, very, very reasonable. I mean, if I was not a doctor, I'd probably be in his office myself.
With no insurance. You know?
Actually, I have insurance. I have a good insurance. I still come to you because my deductible, I mean, I don't care how good if your issues. If you have a $5,000 deductible, I'm going to pay for it anyways.
Yeah.
It's cheaper for me to pay you whatever you charge me than I get a bill from my regular doctor with insurance affiliation. I mean, you're still cheaper, still more reasonable. I mean,
and people like coming to us, and that's another thing. We got a lot of people with insurance, and they're like, but I like coming here. You don't talk down to me. I understand what you're telling me. And we just like coming here. And I mean, that's a big like. And then they send their mom or their sister, and then they entrust you to their care. And you've seen it. That's a big deal to me.
It's a big deal, and word of mouth. And, you know, just know that you have somebody you can rely on. Mm-hmm. Like, I can call Scottie. I can go take care of this problem, you know. Like, that's a huge relief. It takes care of your anxiety about your health, you know, that having that access. And I think that access is everything. Like, it's almost like your best friend, you know, who can write your prescriptions or take diagnosis.
There was a thing that had all the different diagnoses and who went to the hospital and all that. The top 10 primary care codes, there are things like cough, cold, flu, GI issues, just whatever. 85% of those people went to the hospital because they couldn't get into their primary care position. Mm-hmm. They were closed, or they didn't have somebody like a nurse practitioner that worked for them, and they only worked 3 or 4 days a week. But for 85% of those that went to the hospital ER was because they couldn't get in to get treated.
It's the most inefficient way of get medical care. You wait there 10 hours in a dangerous place because the waiting room, you are literally exposed to sick people.
Yeah, you don't want to get something else.
You're going to catch COVID waiting 10 hours there. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's still a waiting room in both our offices.
Yeah.
But you are there for like 20, 30 minutes, not like 10 hours. Yeah. And then your bill will be like a couple $1,000s to treat. Well, just come to urgent care and we treat you. And even for serious stuff, I have people with I worry about some heart problem. Instead of sending to ER, I call Dr. Buckner, hey, can you see this patient today? Oh, send it to my clinic in an hour. They drive to the cardiologist's office and get everything taken care of. It's still much superior.
Oh, yeah. Can't say enough against Dr. Bucknight's office up in Irmo. Yeah. Great guy, great doctor, great practice.
Yeah. We advertise for him too. Dr. Dan Buckner, if you're watching this, we love you. Takes care of. Thank you for taking care of our patients. My father is your patient. Scottie is your patient. If I have a problem, I'm going to come to you too. You really do a lot for the community. I mean, I send my family to you, and you see them in the same day or the next day. You're a great, great doctor too.
Yeah. But my next stress test, I need a little bit off because, you know. That was rough. Have you ever had one?
Yeah, I was stress test. That was my job. You know, they make you. Did they make you run? Are you didn't have to run, or they make you to?
No, I was running. You know what's funny? You know, I used to be in the military. My background, I was a Navy corpsman for years and stationed with the Marines, and we used to run 3 or 4 miles every day. Used to. Now I was in the hospital, and somebody calls a code up on the 6th floor. I take the elevator, and go. I got 6 minutes. 6 minutes. Somebody. You don't want me running the steps anymore, but yeah, Dr. Botnight was great when.
Yeah, I did a 5K yesterday. I'm out of shape, my friend.
Yeah, but you're in a lot better shape. You've been taking the Mounjaro that that I saw you advertise, and
I cheated. I took the Mounjaro.
Hey, that's so
nice. I didn't do it just with exercise, but it worked. I mean, why not?
If you can get hold of it, we were just talking about, some things work for people and some don't. I'm actually diabetic, and I did try the Mounjaro. I like the Ozempic, but the Mounjaro, I actually gained weight, but I said I want munchies all the time, like hot fries and and Munchos or whatever and I don't want to eat a lot. I've not got a good appetite, but when I do, I just want junk food. But it's just like we talk about those medicines, Prozac and different types of other antidepressants or anxiety medicine. Things don't work for everybody, and we're two medical professionals, and there's no reason we can sit here and go, why do I want Munchos on Majero? Yeah. But I don't know,
Everybody's different. I give somebody Benadryl, it hypes them off. I was like, it puts me to sleep, and then it hypes up. Everybody's different. Medications work. Like you take caffeine, you cannot sleep. I take caffeine before I went to bed. I drink coffee right before I go to bed. It works great for me.
Flexeril, I got to cut it in half. My wife takes the whole thing and it's fine, but I got to cut it in half for it just. It hangs on to me.
It hangs what dosage? Like 5?
10. So I cut it in half to make it 5.
I took 10 and I couldn't wake up the next. I mean, I was so sleepy. I take it for sleep sometimes.
But I've seen little old ladies not have a problem. Take it three times a day. And
like I have patients take Xanax 2 milligrams 3 times a day. And I'm like, dude, I take one of those, I'm out. I'm out of commission. Turn off the lights, put me to sleep. I don't know how they do it, but your body gets adjusted to it, I guess, too.
Well, I guess. I hope I never do. I know.
Never get to that.
I'm still an Advil, Tylenol guy to this day. I do a lot with, like I said, personal injury. Advil, Tylenol goes a long way. Now, they need a little steroid and a little muscle relaxer, but other than that, I can't say enough about starting off your day with Tylenol or Advil if you've got everyday pains or arthritis, sciatica, that and stretching.
It's kind of ironic, like providers, doctors, nurse practitioners, we don't like taking a lot of medications. Like we are actually a lot of anti-medication. We prescribe a lot.
Yeah.
We don't use it a whole lot ourselves. I don't know, we are more minimalist or we have more high pain tolerance or we are just not medicine person. I don't know. I don't like taking meds.
I mean, you see it, it's just like everything. You try not to until you have to.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point you may have to, but let's try not to, yet. Just like those people came in with rheumatoid arthritis and stuff where we think, well, we're going to start off with the minimum before you throw your own methotrexate and all this other stuff.
Absolutely.
Let's start minimum. That's the less and the cheapest thing you can do is taking a Tylenol or Advil over the counter.
Because they always have side effects. Every medication you give to fix something, you might cause 2 other problems because the side effect profiles.
I always tell people the funniest thing I ever read was the side effect to meclizine.
What is it?
Dizziness. And it's for dizziness. But the side effect. And it's the first one. So it's like,
It's an antihistamine. It's the same family of Benadryl.
But that's the first one that says
it. Knock you out. And the bite will take care of your vertigo. Yeah. So which one is worse, vertigo or big sleepy? So you need to pick the enemy, I guess. Medicine's funny. It's like how it works and things.
It's funny, but again, why we were here today is really to try to let people know there's a place for you to go. Whether you got insurance or you don't have insurance or you're not for sure, between Veritas Medical Clinic here in Lexington or downtown Columbia or mine in West Columbia with no insurance or high deductibles, there's a place for you to go to get medical care. Like I said, we got places we can send you if you need to go there. But if you just don't know, and it's a physical exam, physical exam in my office is $160. Full exam, all lab work. If you're 50 years old and you ain't had a medical exam, you ain't had your prostate checked, you need to come in.
That's okay.
Again, if everything's clean and everything's clear, but you got younger people dropping dead every day because of high blood pressure or diabetes. And I'll be honest with you, me in the medical field, I found it on a routine medical exam with lab work. Thought I was tired. I was thirsty a lot, but was in school, a little bit overweight, worked 12-hour days. That's what I tied it up to. But it was just a routine medical exam.
I know
that you found
tangent, but one population I'm seriously concerned about is young male African-American population.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like going to the doctor. Men, period, do not like to go to the doctor. But that population is very vulnerable because it's also the population that runs around with blood pressure of 200, over 100.
In their 20s.
In their 20s, and they have like prostate cancer is a high risk and high cholesterol, diet issues. So, and that's a group they don't feel bad. They're athletes sometimes. And they good shape, but they don't realize their blood pressure. So if you have any loved ones who are young male, 30s and 40s, get them checked. They never know. They might look healthy, but they might have some problem that we can take care of it now, so they won't have a kidney failure or a heart attack in their 40s and 50s. So please bring your young male sons, husbands, brothers, minorities, Hispanic and Black, notorious for this. Bring them to us. drag them because they're not going to come on their own. Let's get them checked. That population can be treated. We can keep them alive. Don't let your loved ones have a heart attack age 40, even if, that guy was healthy, never went to a doctor. Well,
Yeah.
that end up bad.
Yeah.
So get it checked.
And if you're a mom or a wife, you'd be surprised. That's how I get a lot of my patients in there. Mom made them come. Wife made them come. Some of it's been, like high blood pressure, just not feeling good. Some of it's been, men's health, low testosterone. You hear women's health all the time, but people don't talk about the men's health. The guys don't. We really specialize in that too and try to get people on. There's a clinic that's here in Columbia, charges $200 a month if you're a low T or a men's health patient. We do it for $160 every 3 months.
That's
$200 a month, $160 every 3 months. Some of the guys used to come in and the joke was, well, do you have a picture of your girlfriend? He goes, no. I said, well, there's your problem. You don't need the medicine. You have a picture of your girlfriend. If she's pretty enough, you have a picture. They always thought that was funny.
Yeah, and that's a huge population. I mean, a lot of men like the low testosterone. And
well, we lose it in our 30s. We start, and some people now. I had one guy come in the other day. He was 55. It was like 700. It was like he was like a champion. But I've seen others in their 30s and 40s be 200, 300.
700 at that age.
Oh, he was
That's not a man. That's a bull.
Yeah.
That's special.
You don't have to know that, but we know the medicine, and you're right. That's
true. I'm 41. I don't have that much testosterone.
No.
God, me. But it does make your mood better.
Yeah.
It can, if you work out, you gain muscles. I mean, it's just energy.
Gets rid of that extra little gut here, and it just makes you not have that malaise, that you don't have to have that 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock nap. You get that testosterone in there, because I tell people it's like a tank of gas. Your ranges are supposed to be between 300 and 900, like a tank of gas. And if you look at it, if you're mid-range or above, all right, you can keep on going down to Florida. But if you're down here around, 200, 300, you're not going to get past Orangeburg. So you need to put a little gas in that tank to kind of keep you going.
To make your life better, your relationship with your significant other better, your sex life better. You have more energy at work, in your daily life. It can be a game changer. So testosterone is everybody should get checked.
Yeah.
And you only need to see a doctor every 3 months.
Every 3 months, unless you have an issue. Yeah, we check it.
3 months, I do the same. Check your 2 blood work. It's actually not that crazy expensive. So
makes you feel a lot better, have a lot more enjoyment in life, and be able to enjoy what you're doing every day. Play with your kids, go out on the weekend. Football season's coming up, so everybody's kind of out doing something.
Absolutely.
So I can't say enough, about that either. But
you want to do lip fillers also? Like people need like collagen in their lips.
And stuff. Yeah, we do that. We kind of kept it at that because, you can go to the spas and they have lasers and all that, and we're not a spa. But what we wanted was, again, those people, those working people that I have money, but I don't have money to go to the spa. It's kind of like, back in the day, I'd love to shop these fancy places. But everybody went to Walmart or Kmart.
Yeah.
Well, we're not Walmart or Kmart, but we're above that. But we've got the same stuff the fancy people have for the same prices, the same exact clothes. We have the Tommy Hilfigers and everything. It's just at a cheaper price than what you're getting if you go to the mall.
So you need the Botox?
And again, you call. We can generally do it the same day. The fillers we generally have to order, so it's like 2 days later, just because we don't keep those. But for the most part, you want this other stuff done. You're having pictures, a birthday, 50th anniversary. You just want to look better for a wedding or whatever. And again, save some money in your pocket to spend on your vacation or your anniversary. We're the people you want to come see.
Well, it was so nice to talk to you, Scottie.
Yes, thank you.
So happy for all the things you do. We know each other for many years.
Yep.
And
since the COVID years, I think we ought to do a little sitcom.
Through COVID, and I admire you for what you do, what services you provide, and I hope community gets to know you even better.
Sure, appreciate it.
You only have a lot of patients, but we will have even more.
Yeah,
and we can provide the services. So I'm so happy you joined us.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
It's always great
talking to you, Dr. Hatemi. But come see us, sunsetprimarycare.com. We're in West Columbia. We're open Monday through Friday, first Saturday of every month. We can also book private appointments, 794-8776. Again, sunsetprimarycare.com.